Our next guest also had a good weekend.
Yeah, she did.
I'm just suspecting she did.
I believe it.
We're going to get to ask her.
All right, not only is she a pioneer in the comedy world, she just wrapped up a performance this past weekend at New York Comedy Festival.
That's right. Aida Rodriguez knows exactly who she is, and she's not afraid to tell you. She uses her razor-sharp wit and life experience in her stand-up routines, often turning tragedy into pain and into biting comedy. Yep. You likely recognize it from her HBO Max stand-up special, Biting Words.
Through this journey, I had an opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic and meet my father for the first time. We sat in a restaurant. Every time a woman walked in, he'd be like, "That's your sister." He was so generous, he gave us each our own mothers. He was like, "Oprah, you get a mother, you get a mother."
Oh my God.
How does she do it? She does it. She just wrote a memoir. It's called Legitimate Kid. She talks about her turbulent time growing up, including being kidnapped not once, but twice as a child, once by her mother, later by her grandmother. She's also experienced homelessness, and through it all, she never lost her spirit or her sense of humor. Thank goodness.
I mean, thank God, because we need it. We need the humor. Ida Rodriguez.
Every time I hear an intro of myself, I'm like, really?
What are you talking about?
Well, you forgot.
Yeah, I forget, but you know, pioneer. All the words that make you feel old.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so admittedly, I rewrote it and I made you a pioneer.
I appreciate it, though.
But here's why. I think we're probably the same age.
Yeah.
My Anna Rican knows it gives me such great joy to highlight Latinos in media and entertainment.
I appreciate it.
Because we have come such a long way. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
And just let's just...
No, but I appreciate it coming from you, because you meant it in the way of there are only 5.
You're blazing trails,
Blazing
honey.
trails.
Exactly.
But when the younger people come up and they say legend,
You're like,
icon, I'm like, shut up.
She's a whole vibe.
Yeah, oh man, yeah.
She's a whole...
Yeah.
Now, what's another thing we can say? Bussin'.
Bussin'.
But okay. I mean, you have a tumultuous upbringing. I mean, just reading about everything you went through. So it's one thing to use that and poke fun, and you do stand up, but it's a completely different scenario to put that all down in a memoir.
Yeah, they called me a snitch, because a lot of Latinos, Latin name people will say to me, you know, lo que pasa en casa se queda en casa. You know, what happens at home stays at home.
I understood that.
And I was like, well, I heard the pronunciation earlier. You right here with us.
Thank you.
But you know, I feel like it's my story. I want to tell it. Plus, we have to stop doing that, because a lot of times we keep those family secrets that are hurtful to people. They keep creating generational curses.
They repeat. I remember when you talked about writing a book, and I was like, oh, she's brave. Because people will say to me, like my family member, Mommy, are you writing a book? Meaning me. And I'm like, I got to wait for all of you to die.
Yes.
Before. So kudos to you for you know, putting a name on things and calling it for what it is.
Well, I mean, it's a healing tool for me and my family, because when I started writing the book, I was already, my baseline was forgiveness. It wasn't vengeance. So that's probably why my book didn't get the press that other books, because it didn't come from a place of being like hateful or just, I need attention, so I'm going to like, you know, exploit my family. I really did it with the pure intention to just really heal and have my family heal. I want my father and my mother to forgive each other, you know, and just to show younger people, like TikTok and all of this, people going in and being so, setting things on fire, you know what I mean? And what happens when the fire's over, you know what I mean? We still have to move forward, and so.
Well, I feel like that's exactly what you're doing, because it's a book, and it's, yes, you do it from a place, you're evolved now. It's not from vengeance, it's from forgiveness, but it's also it's going to be a helpful tool for people who are maybe who have experienced the same thing, to help them move forward. But can we talk about the title for a second? Legitimate Kid. I feel like we got a preview of where that name came from in the clip we played, but what's in the name?
So, you know, when I was a little girl, one of my classmates called me a bastard. And I didn't know what that meant. So when I went out to find out what it meant, I realized that because I didn't have my father's last name, I would have a different label. And it made me feel less than. And I operated from that wound for a really long time. The search for my father wasn't just because I wanted my father, but because I wanted legitimacy, I wanted validation. And a lot of people struggle with that for different reasons. There are a lot of people who don't grow up with parents and, and fathers. And I wanted to address it.
Yeah, and you do, head on. I love that. Can we talk about some comedy now?
Sure.
What'd you do this weekend?
Oh, I was at...
It was more exciting than seeing Hell's Kitchen or eating short ribs, although I heard those short ribs were dope.
That's so funny. Those short ribs look good. I was at the Chelsea Music Hall on Friday, and it was a packed house. New York shows up for me like no other. I'm on a sold-out show tonight for the New York Comedy Festival. But still try to come, because some people buy tickets and don't show up.
And they get in the door.
That's right.
Maurice Soñando's going to be at the
stop.
United Palace.
My God.
And with some great comedians, Sasha Metzi and Glorelis Mora, who are from here, and Ian Lara, who's Special Eye directed. But I love doing stand-up here. In New York, my shows always sell out. People always show up. I'm back in January. You have to come to my show at the Yonkers Comedy Club, January 18th through the 21st. So you have to come back. You have to come out and see the show live.
How do you use, and we've spoken to plenty of comedians, how do you use your life in a way that makes other people laugh without losing yourself completely?
I sit down and I think about, all of my jokes have a thesis, if you will, which is really heavy.
A whole thesis.
I like that.
Like I sit down, what is this saying? Like, what is this? What is the point of this joke? And anybody who asks me about any joke, I can tell you this is what my intention was. Because I watched, like, George Carlin as my comedy hero and Richard Pryor, there was a motive behind, which is why George Carlin is trending today when we talk about stuff, because it lives on. So I sit down and I think about, like, what I want to say and what's the point of it, as opposed to
Getting the laugh.
The laugh will come, The story has to be there first, and then you punch it up with the joke. So for me, the story is important.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
She hung out with our friend John Leguizamo.
I was just gonna say, can you tell us about Johnny Legs? How's
we
he
call
doing?
him Johnny Legs.
Our good friend.
He doesn't know that, but.
You know what's funny? It was really weird. I did his series, and you meet your heroes. I remember going to the Beacon Theater, scraping up change to go see him, and sitting next to him and him saying, "I see you. You are, you are why the sacrifice." And he did the blurb for my book, and he invited me to his dinner that he had on the 30th, and I wasn't able to make it, but it was fascinating. Let me tell you something about him. He's willing to learn, and that is why I admire him, and that's why he continues to evolve, and he's so great. He's a great mind. It's a great mind, and he really cares about the Latino community, and he really wants to create change and build something for the future.
Right.
Exactly, because
he's cool.
He is cool. He said it. It took him forever to get this project greenlit.
Yeah,
which was so incredible to me.
And
but he stayed.
Yeah, he stayed the course. I was at that dinner. You were going to sit next to me, so I ate your plate. I ate your.
How was the food?
Delicious.
La cena. Okay.
I know you mentioned George Carlin. Who was some other?
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. I look to newer comedians that inspire me. Like, there's this generation of comics that are coming behind me that are Latinos that I directed Ian Lara's special for HBO Max, Marcela Arguello, like Sasha Metzi, Glorelis Mora, who are from here. But I love watching women that do stand-up. Like, there are these women, Lori Kilmartin and Jackie Cation, who should be way bigger names and everybody should know them. They're great writers. I love Wanda Sykes.
Oh my God,
She put me on Last Comic Standing. She produced my Netflix special. There are quite a few brilliant minds in comedy.
And I
She
bet
just
they
gave
all
us a
say
whole
the same
laundry
thing
list,
about you. They probably all say the same
Kathleen
thing.
Madigan is one of the funniest.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah, she's so hilarious.
I'm making a mental note because I love me some stand-up. It's like what I like to do on the weekends.
She does.
I
We've
take
seen
it
a
all.
couple of shows.
Yes.
We're going to come see you.
Yes.
Thank you so
You have
much.
to come.
Back in January.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me. This is such a fun show.
Oh, thank you.
It is the
Listen.
most fun show that nobody watches, so thank you for spending time with us. We
No lies detected there.
appreciate it.
Hey, Legitimate Kid is out now. You can get it wherever you get your books. Run, Don't Walk. Sold out show tonight, but she's coming back in January.
But
It's
come
all good.
anyway, because people buy tickets
Who
and
knows?
don't show
There
up.
might
I'm
be a
doing a
scalper
book
or
signing
something.
so they can come
Oh,
and
there
get
you
it.
go. Go get the book and then go get it signed.
From 7 to 8 before the show starts.